Welcome to Beyond Tradition. We are a podcast and talking about the nitty gritty of entrepreneurship, a lot of topics that are uncomfortable and others don't talk about.
Mhm.
This is Therese.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Shelby. If you missed our intro episode or the last episode, definitely go watch those
Yes.
because we're kind of piggybacking off of each one.
Yeah. We're kind of building a little
Hmm.
building our content from there. So to really understand Shelby's perspective and then my perspective, it's would be great if you watched the first one.
Absolutely. This episode, we're really gonna, again, piggyback off the last one where
Yeah.
we talked about financial literacy. This one is, setting goals
Mm-hmm.
and your long-term financial self, with
Yes.
and without your partner.
Yeah.
Um, so we get started there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Again, hopefully you looked into financial literacy and
mhm,
you have a little bit of knowledge to understand,
yeah,
how a business is ran or even just personally, different
yeah,
financial
terms.
strategies, terms,
Hmm.
just kind of to really have a light understanding of it.
Yeah, and
So,
we really talked about um, the P&L. We talked about partner conversations,
yes.
getting involved.
Mhm.
Knowledge is power. Gain your confidence. Face your anxiety. When it comes to money, is a topic we all tend to avoid.
Yeah, it's not everyone's favorite topic to talk
No.
about, especially with their partner.
Yeah, it's very personal.
Mhm.
But I do think in order to have I don't know, cohesive, balanced, better even relationship with your spouse partner, there really needs to be an alignment of
100%.
beliefs or at least compromises, so that you guys are on the same page and you're moving
Yeah, we're jumping
forward
into it.
together.
Goals. Yeah,
Goals.
the goals, aligning your business goals and your family values together
Mhm.
and your family goals just to understand again, where you both are, what you're both it's almost like an expectations,
Yeah.
it helps
Mhm.
put those boundaries out there where it's like, "Okay, I'm expecting
This.
this." And so if you're both working towards the same goal, it just keeps everybody on track and then there's no confusion of like, "Well, I thought this was what we were doing."
Right.
And then 3 years later,
Yeah.
you're sitting there and you're like, "Wait, I thought we were doing this." And they're like, "Oh no, we're on this path."
Yeah.
And
Oh boy.
yes, it's happened.
Listen, it happens.
Yeah, it
And
happens, and, it's one of those things that I think it's a constant communication, but
constant.
for sure, I think, getting your goals on a piece of paper and having that conversation is the first step.
For sure. Let me
So
tell you, being involved with other entrepreneurs,
mhm.
um this story comes to mind. It is just like, and I was mind blown by this because I think part of this is personality,
Mhm.
part of this is character. Um for me, I've always been set my goal. That's what I have a
Oh,
2
yeah.
year, a 5 year, a
Yeah,
10 year.
100%,
This is where
yes.
I want to be.
Short term, long term.
But
Yep.
there was this situation and it was a guy running his business, his wife supporting. Um and we got into conversation and there were never any goals set. Business, personally, never.
Nothing?
Nothing. And so for me, I literally like kind of it hit me like a ton of bricks and I was like that partner loves you so much because that is blind faith that I personally have never had. Imagine this person is leading you and your life
Mm.
in what direction? So that's why I was like, but how many people? And I kind of talked to my other friends about it, and she was like,
Yeah,
well, not everybody's a goal setter. Not everybody lives that way. A lot of people are day to day.
and that's 100% okay, but
Yes.
not running a business.
Yeah.
I
So,
think running a business, you have to have some sort of strategy. You're not
stra-
just winging it. I
mm-hmm.
mean, unless there are the cases where someone creates some cool fidget and it goes whatever, and it
Yeah,
blows up overnight.
fair.
Those aren't the cases we're talking again.
No, no Shark Tank.
Yeah, no, no, none of that. We're talking about again.
We
have a
come
background in construction and
trades.
trades and services and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
in our industries, you have to have some sort of plan of action. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who are you going after? Commercial, residential? Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Right. And for
So,
us, we
hmm
started again zero. We come from nothing. We come from poor, and I try to explain that
yeah,
to people. Where we are now is leaps and bounds beyond where we started, what we came from. No trust fund,
Yeah.
nobody in our
Yeah.
I mean, have an aunt, she runs her own company, HVAC, back home.
Okay, cool.
Wonderful. Never had that close relationship enough to know or understand the inner workings of all of it. Just
Yeah.
knew like she's running her own
Yeah, for
company,
sure.
right?
For sure.
So it's very different, but like coming from nothing, coming from poor, rural, have a hard time with that word,
Rural.
rural,
Yeah, it's me too.
to now having a 7-figure business,
Yeah.
and now talking about what are our retirement goals. I waffle between YOLO, because if you die tomorrow,
I there's a healthy balance.
there's a
I teach
healthy
people this.
balance.
I teach people there's a
Yeah.
healthy balance between it.
Yes.
Because you have to enjoy yourself and enjoy life.
Yes.
And again, I think when you start hitting those goals or those financial goals you establish,
Hmm.
once you hit that goal, you're making another one. So at
It's
that
never
point,
been enough.
yeah, it's never. I don't think as an entrepreneur it's ever enough.
I
I
don't
think it's one of
know.
those things.
Again, I don't know that you can break that. And that's why I do say it's
Yeah.
likely a characteristic or a
Hmm.
personality thing,
Yeah. 100%.
because I look at where we are now and I still feel like that person
Hmm.
with paycheck to paycheck type
Yeah.
of finance, right?
Yeah.
I still
Honestly,
feel like that.
it's better to live that way because you're gonna have a lot of money in the
I
bank.
guess.
Yeah, you have a lot of money in the bank at some point.
Except for now I can like pull the trigger on a vacation where I couldn't do that before. But
Yes. Gives it a little bit of luxury
yeah,
to life, you know?
exactly.
Mm.
But I will say, nothing to 7 figures. We've made mistakes. We made yeah, I just think about the mindset shift that has to happen.
It has to happen. There's a huge mind shift that
Yeah.
has to happen, that you have to be open to it because you
Mhm.
can't stay in the same spot. Again,
No.
we're always growing, we're always learning. So you have to
Yeah.
I call it pivoting. So everything's a pivot.
It's a pivot.
And so it's just one of those you just keep going forward and
Mhm.
you just keep as long as you are open-minded to keep growing and
I
to
think that's
keep learning and to keep, and again, setting goals that maybe set an unrealistic I never tell anybody to set something unrealistic, but set something towards the moon and see if you
uh-huh.
get there. If you've already hit a bunch of your
Right.
goals, throw something out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've hit a few of them where I'm just like, huh? I was like, okay, cool.
Well,
Let's
that's
keep
exactly
going.
it. Like
Yeah.
it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Yep.
I still don't have the ability to really comprehend
Yeah.
where we're at, right?
I
Like,
don't know if anybody ever does.
but it's
I would
still
we'd have to poll entrepreneurs and
that's
see
a great idea.
like successful entrepreneurs and be like, do you feel like you've made it? You know what I mean?
Never.
And yeah, I don't think I've ever met one. I lied. I'm sure there's a few.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in different industries. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? That
Mhm.
are like, I'm the best. I'm an
I
expert.
got it.
Yeah, I'm an expert at this. Or it's like, okay, sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Good job. We're proud.
I don't think there's ever an expert at anything. I think
No.
you can be extremely talented
Yeah.
and have a lot of knowledge of what you do, but an
Yeah.
expertise, I think again,
Yeah.
everything's changing constantly.
Everything changes,
So,
but it is
yeah.
seeking that knowledge. There's been a
Mhm.
huge amount of education that's had to happen between then and now.
Oh, for sure.
Mindset shifts
Oh, yeah,
too.
definitely.
But I can't imagine not having a goal to drive us in that direction.
Yes. Again, why? I guess you know what I mean. If you don't have a why, or if you're just like, oh, this sounds fun, I guess that's
Mhm.
an approach. But
Yeah.
if you have no strategy, I call
Right.
goals like a strategy because once you have a goal, you break it down
Yeah.
into
You're great
actionable
at that.
steps.
You are so good
And
at
then
that.
if those actionable steps seem impossible, you break those down even further. And even it
Mhm.
could be the smallest thing. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? It could be,
Yeah.
yeah. It could
Waking
be,
up and
yeah. Yeah, waking
it-
up and like reading, you know what I
yes.
mean?
Yeah.
A newsletter from, whatever, Contractors Daily. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's a thing,
I
but
don't know either,
like
but
just
yeah.
to see what the trends are
Yeah.
depending on what type of,
Yeah.
or you just see the
To
local warehouses or the supply houses, they always send out
yeah.
booklets or they keep up with the trends.
They
So
do.
they'll
They
let
do.
you know. So
And it's
there's
hard
always
to
something.
because when you're in this life as an entrepreneur, nobody's telling you what you should be doing.
No.
Nobody, and I know that was a huge struggle for me,
Mhm.
but goals kind of gave us that, like,
Yeah.
I've got to get this to do this to do this. But I will say, nobody tells you. I remember in the very, very beginning, one, I wasn't sleeping very well, anxiety.
Yeah.
Two, I was lost. Like, I went from a 40-hour work week structure, a task list, people telling me what to do.
Yeah.
You don't have that as an entrepreneur.
Nope.
And I can just remember thinking on more than one occasion, I don't know what I should be doing.
Yes.
Where is my focus supposed to be today? I can't tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is I think all of us go we all hit that whatever standstill,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what should I be doing today? Like, should I be focused on marketing? Should I be focusing on my bookkeeping? Should I be focusing on client relations?
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things that yes,
Yeah.
it's but again, the more you just keep like you keep going and you keep
Mhm.
learning from you just watch other people around you, which is
Yeah.
difficult in our industry because you can't just like show up on someone else's job site,
Right.
you know
Hey, what are you doing
but
today?
networking and like making friends, like you've talked about the
Mhm.
group, the contractor group you were in, you
Yes.
were surrounded by other
Yeah.
plumbers, and so it was great to kind of be able to feed off of them or
Yeah.
get intake from, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
different problems that they were going through, and then
Yeah.
but
Just
yes.
kind of off track on this one, but I will say something that I personally had to deal with in regards to, like, what does my day look like as an entrepreneur now? One, I'm very neurospicy, neurodivergent, ADHD,
Yep.
anxiety, all the diagnoses that you can have.
I'm in
Yay
that
me.
boat. Woo.
Yeah. um, but I fell into the hustle culture.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember
That
the
song's on replay in my mind
right.
constantly.
I was even on a local podcast called,
Yeah.
Hustle. That's part of the name. Um, and that was a huge part of it. But again, I think we mentioned this in a previous episode. Not sustainable.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but I remember feeling all the shame because I do not function in the mornings. My brain,
Yeah.
I'm not ever and have never been that person that gets
But
up
that's
at 4 or 5 a.m.
yeah.
I'm a night owl. My brain kicks on literally at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
Um,
There's nothing wrong with that though.
there's
Again,
not.
you adjust your day to around how you work or
Right.
how your body can handle it.
Yeah. And I had to learn that and I had to let go.
Well, because that's crammed into you. Oh my gosh, every
Yes.
entrepreneurship book you read,
Yes.
every successful
They're up at 5 a.m.
yeah. No, they're
have
up
their
at 3:30.
they have
They're
their
making
power
yeah,
hour.
they're making their protein shake. They're going to the gym.
They're
Yeah. Oh
meditating.
my gosh, it's like okay, like
Again, all really great things to do.
for a single entrepreneur, when you have a family, or if your partner takes
Yes.
care of your household, then you can live like that.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember saying that.
Yeah. If I had if you had a partner
If I had a partner,
and he
ran
got
the
up-
household,
he ran the household, he got up, got the kids ready for school, made breakfast. You
took care of the
could
dogs.
go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. That sounds
Uh-huh.
great. By
Wonderful.
myself.
And
You
this
know what I
is
mean?
like a running joke too, thinking about that part. And
Yeah.
that goes back again, Fair Play on Hulu, read the book, big advocate of that. But I had let go of that guilt, but imagine a world, and we joke about this and it's a funny ha-ha, but that's only because if we really took it seriously, I think we would lose our freaking minds. Imagine a world where your deodorant runs out and it's magically refilled without you having to think about it.
I mean, that's
Who does that?
I mean, that would be amazing.
Who's making my list, right? Who's
Yeah.
ordering my toiletries?
Mhm.
So that goes to that mental load. And honestly, I
Yeah.
had to let that go. I'm not,
Yeah.
one, I'm not that person in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't work that way for me. But two, my life looks way different than the people that can do that. So
Yes.
letting go of that.
I think we touched on it,
Yeah.
in an earlier episode. It's finding that balance between a partnership
Yes.
and then you know what I mean, adjusting and
Yeah.
living and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
adjusting to I guess basically getting tasks accomplished.
Yeah. And it's
So,
in business and it's in personal life.
oh, for sure,
When you
100%.
can't do something yourself, hire it out.
Yeah.
So I can't hire out grocery shopping yet, but I do not step foot in the store. I deliver every single one of my groceries.
Yep. That sounds amazing. I'm too picky
Yeah.
about my fruit selection. So
Listen,
my fruit, I'm just kind of like,
shipped.
but I tried it and they brought me like brown bananas
No
and I
way,
was
man.
so
Mine
upset. I was
texts
just
me.
like, I was like,
They're supposed to text you. It's a setting.
is it?
It's
Okay.
a setting.
Yeah.
If they're out or if it's bad. And it's also the difference in your shoppers.
Yeah.
Because I've had a bad experience like that, like Walmart.
I've done it. I've tried Shipt twice, and both times I was very disappointed. And I was like, I don't have one, I don't have time for this. And then two, I'm like, this was
See, I don't
supposed
have
to
time to
ease the
go
burden.
inside.
Yeah.
Once you get your usual setup, I will say it is a process,
Yeah.
100%. But
Touched. I saw it.
dang it,
Again, running our running tally. I don't know what we're up to next time.
I definitely was at 3
Yeah.
or 4 in the last episode.
All right. I was at 0. I'm
Okay.
doing pretty good. I know. I'm learning to keep my hands down. Some
Spirit fingers. No, but
Okay.
so yeah, no, they text me pictures. So if something's out, they text
Yeah.
me, "Hey, this is out. Do you want this
Okay.
substituted?" And they'll send me pictures of stuff, and I'm like, "Do not give me brown bananas. Do not." Anyways, that being said, that's my one little like,
I like it.
yeah,
I
we'll
like
get
it.
there.
Eventually.
But yeah, that again, we went a little bit off subject.
No, it's
but
fine.
those
Again,
are all
but
things to help kind of like
yeah.
streamline your days.
Mhm.
It's gonna look different for everyone.
Oh, 100%. All of our goals and what we want to accomplish is completely
Mhm.
different. So,
Yeah. But it's
yeah.
very, I think, very, very, very important to sit down and also think about your future self, like where you want to be.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be?
And what do you think your life looks like? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
what do you want out of it? So,
Truly.
yeah.
Truly. Because I know that now, again, things change. Real estate, ever changing market.
Oh
I
gosh, yeah.
loved being a realtor. Loved it. But my goal is to not live in the United States for months at a time.
Right.
Can I be a real estate agent and not live in the States?
If you blow out your
Yes.
practice and have somebody doing it,
Right. If I
you
had
know.
someone here to handle it all,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Turn myself into a referral agent. And that's likely the way that I'm going.
Yeah.
But that's why it's like I have shifted more of my focus away from that and into more passive income
Yeah.
sources.
Definitely. For
Writing the
sure.
Not published yet. I need an illustrator.
You know, an illustrator, drop it down
Yeah,
there
drop
for
it down there,
us,
please. Let me
please.
know. Need an
Yes.
illustrator for the kids book.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Walter. So exciting. But again, that took me sitting down and saying, where do I want to be in 8 to 10 years? Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah. There's none. There's none taken.
Yeah.
Even though we do live in Florida.
Right. I love Florida.
On the beach.
Yeah, on the beach, on the most beautiful beaches in the United States.
Yes. Yep.
So that means one, digitizing everything within the
Mhm.
business so that
Yeah.
I can do my work
Yeah.
remotely. And then really focuses on those income sources
For sure.
outside of that. So that's like a personal, but I do think you can have personal, then you need to have family or spouse, partner
Yeah.
goals,
For sure. 100%.
and your business
Because
goals
does
should
Trevor want to leave? Or is he going to be like, bye, babe?
He
Like,
does.
you have fun. I'll be here.
He-
You know what I mean?
I mean, he's obviously on his tools and can't leave as easy as I can.
Right.
But
Too
even
funny.
he is thinking about like our long-term retirement plan, and what we're doing right now is setting ourselves up so that in 8 to 10 years we can live in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Shh, in the Bahamas, and be there more often. And he's, he may be transitioning into a boat mechanic at that time.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So he
things
can still
change.
play on things. And
right.
yeah, for sure. Again, life is ever changing.
Ever
So
changing.
you never know what's going to happen.
And I think that sitting down though and having the conversation. So it
Yes.
should be like, here is our yearly goal for your savings account, for your
Yeah.
retirement account.
I even think start with a 10-year and then work your way
Mhm.
backwards. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or even, I guess, a 5-year is a good place
Yeah.
to start.
I was gonna say
know?
2, 5, 10
Yeah,
is what I
exactly.
tend to
And
do.
then that way you can work backwards and then kind of, again, it's breaking that big goal down into tangible steps that you can take to achieve that goal.
Mhm.
And again, if you and your partner sit down, or you by yourself and you sit down and you get this done,
Mhm.
at least you have some sort of, again, basically a strategy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get to where you want to be.
And it helps in your decision making daily too.
100%. Because if your long term goal is to, have a villa in Italy,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna be you're not gonna want to you're gonna be, what's the word I'm looking for? Frivolous
Yeah.
with your spending.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you remember the bigger picture of like, well, if I want that,
I can't do this.
I can't. I shouldn't
Shouldn't.
waste my money on something.
Right.
And it's like people get upset and they're like, oh, but I want to stop for coffee every day. And I was like, yeah, but again, this is a
Yeah.
very basic. You could do all this at home for a
Yeah.
fraction of the price you're spending
Yeah.
daily.
Again,
So
we had a DoorDash and a Starbucks habit, and it
yeah,
was a $6 or $7 drink for both of us every day.
yeah. But think of if you go back through that 6-month period and count up,
I don't want to.
yeah,
I won't do it.
you'll choke. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, you'll probably be like, "Are you kidding me? We could have this $2,500
Yeah.
sitting
And
in the
now,
bank."
yeah,
Yeah,
our
yeah,
kind of like compromise on that is we buy the cold brew
yeah.
at home. Now, is it packaged? Is it $4 or $5?
Still cheaper.
It's still cheaper because I get at least 4 coffees out of that one.
Exactly.
So it kind of like finding those things, and
Yes.
even a more personal experience here recently is when we moved down here. We love boating. Boating is obviously
Yeah,
a thing. We
for
did
sure.
it in
I
the
grew up
lakes.
on the water,
Yeah,
so
same.
yes.
Mine was nasty lake boating in Oklahoma though.
Fun.
But
Mine was the
boats, I've
Gulf of
always been
Mexico.
on boats. Yeah. I was gonna call you a name and I just refrained.
Do it.
Give me a gold star. Or feed me a cookie later.
All right, deal.
But when we moved down here, we really wanted a house on a canal, obviously.
Yeah,
Got the
of
boat right
course.
there.
100%.
Who doesn't want that?
I think that's anybody that
Oh
lives
my
here.
gosh. But did we buy that? No. We ended up buying we did find an acre. Now we have a little unicorn of a property
Yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Very cheap. The cheapest thing you could probably get your hands on here in Florida, or this area
This
specifically.
area for sure.
But I will say a listing came up in one of our favorite neighborhoods where we actually keep our boat on a lift with friends. Um, Perfect. Renovated on a canal. Even so far as had the kitchen appliances that I have wanted for the last 5 or 6 years.
Ooh, nice.
Literally, I looked at that and I
Yeah.
was like, it was bigger. It was completely done because, as you know, ours
Yeah.
is a complete gut renovation that we bought.
Yes.
$750,000.
Okay.
Now, could we have?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Did I want to spend $4,500 a month to live at that property?
yeah.
No.
Nah.
No. What do
Yeah.
I want? I want, and that's what it really was. It was like, can we? Yes. Should we? But then I said, does this serve us in the next 5 to 10 years? And it doesn't.
Right.
So,
If you were planning to stay here and that was going to be your home, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? But
absolutely.
yeah,
So I think that just
it puts it in perspective for people. It's a
really
great,
does.
I'm glad you brought that up and I'm glad you told that experience because I think it puts it in perspective to like it really can affect your daily decisions.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and who knows, that might be someone's goal. Like that is their goal. And
Great.
so, yeah, and like, but are you going to go buy a boat right now? Probably not.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're going to wait
Mhm.
and then hopefully get in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you set those goals and then you try to achieve them as you go along.
Yeah.
So
And I do think you can align business goals. You can align family goals. You
Oh,
can align,
100%.
or if it's not family, it's you and your partner, your
Yeah.
spouse,
Yeah.
whatever that is,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like. But it does really kind of start personally. You don't necessarily have to have the same exact shared vision for the future, but it
No.
should be close.
I mean, yeah, it should be
yeah,
kind of close.
kind of
It
close.
doesn't need to be identical, but I
Right.
feel like it's the big stuff should definitely be
Right.
yeah.
And even now, quantifying those goals because we have a number.
Mm-hmm.
If we can sell for that number, then
Yeah.
that's our retirement
You
to
just go
live.
peace out. Be
Yeah,
like, bye guys.
honestly, if I mean, but that's kind of
Yeah, for sure.
the thing, and so now we're halfway there. How do we get to the other half, and what does that look like? So for us,
Yeah.
it's adding trucks, adding revenue,
Yeah,
adding, you know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure.
um,
Expansion.
expansion, just
Which
so
is it's
scary.
so terrifying. A growth is always a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
especially because you're comfortable, you're making money, and it's like, do we, don't
Do I
we? But
really want to
again,
deal with more employees?
yeah, but you know your goal, and again, if you strategize it right and you
Yeah,
get the right management in place,
yeah,
we've talked about this,
hundred
like
percent.
you can definitely achieve it. It's
Yeah,
just, but the growing pains suck.
the growing pain
Growing pains
sucks.
suck in a business.
I'm
Period. End of story. Any entrepreneur that has gone from 3 employees to 7 employees has felt that burn.
my
And then
God.
7 employees to 11, 12 employees.
That's
Oh,
where I'm
there's
at
another.
right now.
Oh
We're at
yeah.
11. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you,
You're
it's
at the
like,
cusp, baby. This is one of those. And I only know because at one point I had, I believe, 27. I had multiple crews running. You know,
my goodness.
yeah,
I have,
tons of excavators in the ground, putting
yeah.
pipe in the ground.
I feel like we're
It was
gonna
a
be at
lot.
15 to 16.
Yeah. And there's a learning curve once you get to that point,
Oh
because
boy.
I learned once you got about over like 19 employees, if you don't have if you're not the manager on top of every last thing, you need to have somebody in
A right
place
hand.
or a right hand,
Yeah.
because it is absolute chaos.
Yeah. I'm already
And
feeling that
yeah,
I have
yeah,
a really great assistant and I have a really good office person right now, but I
yeah,
can already feel we're getting to that point. It's time to
hmm
add to that
yeah.
side of things. And
Especially if the tasks get overwhelming for
yeah.
the owner, and
Mm-hmm.
your partner's already not underwater but in it,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's swimming,
Yeah.
he's treading,
He's
so it's
treading
one of
like I'm
those.
treading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's one of those, it's like you can't add any more to his plate,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to drown him, so
Right.
it's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we obviously know we both have owned and operated our companies with husbands. That is a very
Mm-hmm.
special, unique situation. It doesn't work well for a lot of people. I will say one of the biggest challenges we've ever taken on is remaining married, running this business together. That's
Yes.
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, that is the nitty gritty.
Let me tell you.
I did not stay married.
Yeah. People be
But
peopling,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And so I think when goals shift and change,
And people
and you
shift and
don't
change.
communicate
Yes.
that properly
Mhm.
with your partner, is when things go awry. And
Yes.
then yeah, that's when things can change. Not for
Absolutely.
the better.
Not for the better.
Not for the
Let me
better.
tell I mean,
So
being 100%, I'm real transparent. You
mm-hmm.
guys can ask me. My business is out there. I don't care. Um, so much resentment, so much, I mean, an anger that comes into that too.
Yeah.
But again, being committed to that shared vision of your life together, sitting down and having the hard
Well, I
conversations.
think that's the main, when the resentment starts to come into play, you have to actually have a conversation
Yes.
about it. Or when you feel like you're drowning, you
Mhm.
don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an appropriate way to do things. And
Yes.
sometimes when with partnerships, it doesn't work out that way.
And you're not going to always agree. That's the other
Right.
part.
But you have to still respect that person,
Yes.
because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, they are the person sleeping next to you in bed.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
We joke
yeah.
about that. There
Yeah.
are days I don't like him.
Yeah, of
I
course.
love him.
More than anything. I know that
yeah.
you do. But some days you're like, you get to sleep
You
on
make me crazy.
You get to sleep over there.
Yeah. Don't touch me.
Yeah. So
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's kind of been our
100%.
saving grace, honestly, is
Mhm.
because he and I can have those conversations. We can be heated.
But the respect is always there, and you might not agree with one another, but at least you hear each other out.
We drop it.
And then you drop it
drop
and you
it and
move
move on.
on. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Our ability to drop things and move on, move past it. There's been instances even recently where it's like, we're not going to agree on this.
Yeah.
Period.
Mhm. And
So,
that's okay.
mhm.
You're allowed to not agree on something, but you don't turn around and be spiteful
Yeah.
or
Or try to
nasty.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to your again, it's your
It's
partner.
your
You know what
partner.
I mean?
Yeah.
So for life and in business. So
Absolutely.
you don't turn around and you do things like
Yeah.
that.
And I
So
definitely am a huge advocate for therapy. I have an individual therapist, we have a couples therapist. And part of the hard conversations, part of the goal setting, part of long term planning, right?
yeah.
Financial and
Mm-hmm.
otherwise. And something that we've learned in our therapy sessions is um, a State of the Union address.
Yeah,
Or
that's
not
great. I
address,
love that.
State of the Union
Mm-hmm.
meeting.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
And dates. You have to go on dates and have fun. And that is not the time to talk about business. That is the time to have fun with your partner.
But
That's a hard line.
well, both partners have to agree to that,
Yeah.
and you have
So
to,
hard.
it is. But it's one of those, if you commit to it and you try to just have fun and
hmm
not bring up things, because what do you talk about with your spouse? Work. You bitch about work.
Work.
Work, you bitch about work, you bitch about money,
Kids.
you bitch about kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things, that's what relationships do. So I get it
Yes.
how it can, I know how difficult
Yeah.
it was to separate.
Yes.
Some of us, I was able to do it a lot easier,
hmm
and I know other people that they seem to be able to do it better than their partner.
hmm
And so I think it just depends on personalities,
For
and
sure.
it depends on just, again, a lot of communication.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the State of the Union, though, is super
Yes.
important, whether that's weekly, bi-weekly, at
Mhm.
least monthly.
Yeah.
And that goes like personally. How
Yes.
are we in this relationship? Communication. But then also that's the time to really talk about these things. Like,
Yeah, you bring it up and don't be scared. It's your
yeah.
partner. Like you
Yeah.
have to communicate this, or the resentment starts.
Yes.
And then if that person has no idea that you're upset about something,
Right.
how are they, you know what I
How are you
mean?
going to fix it?
Yeah, how are you going to fix
How are
it?
you going to move on?
Yeah.
Are you just going to drop it?
Yeah.
Some things, yes, drop. Other things, big things, financial things,
Yeah,
that stuff has to be hashed out. That has to be
for
talked about.
sure.
So I
For
think
sure.
that State of the Union meeting,
Mhm.
that was some of the best advice we've ever gotten. Putting it in practice, though, that's the other part. We're talking about sitting down, having these hard conversations, communicating with our partners.
Well, cuz sometimes you just don't want to, and
Yeah.
then other times you may want to, and he's just like, I'm exhausted. Like I just got my
Set a
butt kicked
date.
today.
Yeah.
Like, can we not do this
Yeah.
today? You know what
Set
I
a date
mean?
and
Yeah,
time that works for everyone.
exactly.
But
So,
then once you're setting your goals, then it's taking action.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
your book,
yeah,
which did we mention that?
we did. Yes. Not the
Yes.
first one,
Maybe
but
the
I
second?
think the second one we got in there a
Yeah.
little bit about
Your
it.
book is great about
Yeah.
that because I'm narrating the book.
Yeah. Shelby's narrating it. It will be available on audio, hopefully.
Next month?
Yeah, I would say by the middle of
Mid?
September.
Yeah.
I would say mid-September. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but I will say in all of that, it is really good about you have to take action. You
Yeah,
set these
it's all
steps up,
about
take action.
taking action, and it's about clear communication, and it's honestly about mindset. You really have to put yourself where you want to be and get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so,
And again, that ties into so many things. Like I feel
yeah.
like all of this is full circle. Your entrepreneurial life, your
Mhm.
relationship,
Oh, yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
all of these things are applicable across the board where you're doing but the State of the Union, really a time. Set the goals.
Yeah.
Check in on your financial picture.
For sure. Sure.
Yeah.
I I work closely, another partnership that I'm in for a
mhm.
business down south. Um her and her partner, there's like cards you can get, and at the end of every day they'll like pick up a card, and it's almost like like an emotional question, just to like,
Ooh.
oh, like a check-in.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I stay with them with her when I go down
hmm
south, and so it's really cool that if
Yeah.
and again, they do it every daily,
Yeah.
but not everybody has to. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think it just depends on your relationship, and again, being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur is exhausting. It's never ending.
Let me tell you, we've kind of
never
talked
ending.
about that. It's never
Yeah, it's never
ending.
ending.
And I try, like, when
Yeah.
I go places and do things, I just want to be quiet.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
lay around
Yeah.
and
Yep.
have slow mornings.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't want to socialize with everyone
No,
because
exactly. I think that's totally natural.
yeah.
And
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but I've got friends and it's other, oh, even my mom, you can take her anywhere. She's talking to the person next to her on the plane. And I'm like, that's general pleasantries. Cool. These are full out conversations. And I'm like, that ain't for me, my.
And yeah, I'm not that
I'm too
person. Yeah,
tired.
yeah, me
I'm
too.
too tired.
I literally get on a plane, I like fall asleep immediately
Same.
like before we
I'm
take
reading
off.
my book,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like passed out. Are you kidding me? It's like it's nap time. The only time there's a nap.
Absolutely. So I feel like, again, this advice really goes uh, across all
Oh my
aspects
gosh.
here. You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm
I've had
trying
to
to
adjust mine a few
I'm
times.
trying to get my blanket
I
back.
like being this comfy. By the way,
I like leaning on it. It's like nice little pillow.
this is my safety blanket
Oh my gosh.
so that I'm
Makes me
comfy
feel
being
better.
in here.
That's awesome.
Random off topic, but yeah, kind of recapping now.
Mhm.
Shared vision, conversations, writing it down. We actually have worksheets.
Yeah, and
Both of
my
us,
my
yeah.
guided journal, the
Mhm.
second, like it goes with the first book, but the second it's called Unlock Wealth, and it literally will break it down for you. It'll teach you how to budget, it'll teach you how to set goals, it'll teach
Mhm.
you how to break those goals down
Yeah.
into steps. So it's a great
Yeah.
start. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To kind of get an idea if you're really like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yes, we will have lots of worksheets.
Lots of worksheets available for
Yeah.
you guys. We
Mhm.
are giving homework.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
what did we say? We've gotten
Financial literacy.
financial literacy,
And
learned some
now,
terminology.
yep.
Yep.
And
Now
now,
write your goals down.
yeah, now write them down.
Have the hard conversations.
Yeah, that's going to be in every episode.
It is.
Every
Sorry,
episode's going
guys.
to tell you to have the conversations. And if
Mhm.
you're an entrepreneur that is all by yourself, get it.
Get
You're
after
doing
it.
awesome.
Right.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep grinding.
Organize.
Mhm.
Keep yourself going.
Exactly. Goal setting's a good one for you. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, that's really it. But everything we've talked about, we'll have links below.
Mhm.
Subscribe, like us, find us on all the socials. We're
Yep.
out there.
We are
So, yeah, come find us. Beyond Tradition.
beyond tradition.
All right. Bye.
Bye.